There's a critical step that you need to take with your puppy that will help protect your puppy against fear, anxiety, and stress disorders like noise phobia, fear aggression, or separation anxiety. But before we can dive into that, we have to talk about the sensitive periods. What are these sensitive periods that you hear dog training professionals and veterinary behaviorists talking about? Basically, a sensitive period is where a small event can turn into a giant change to the dog's behavior later in life. It's where little things end up being big things. Okay, so a trauma experienced for a dog in between 3 and 14 weeks will probably result in a major life change, whereas that same trauma between 3 and 5 years would not result in the same major life change. All right, so there are these developmental stages within the dog's life, and we're just going up to adulthood. There's also adulthood, of course, and geriatric, but you can see the one we're really interested in, and that's the socialization period. The socialization period for dogs is between 3 and 12 weeks, and we think potentially goes up to 14 weeks or maybe even 16 weeks in certain breeds of dogs. Within that time period, socialization must occur. Okay, so I want you to think of that 12 to 14 week mark as a giant bank vault door. It closes and you are not getting it back open. So if you miss the socialization period, maybe you just adopted your dog at 18 weeks, right? Or you rescued your dog and you're not even sure of the age of your new puppy. In that case, there's lots that you can do, but the socialization period, that period where a little bit of effort can make a giant bang, is over. And for those precious babies that grew up on the street and that had trauma, that little trauma turns into big trauma later in life. So if you have one of those babies, you want to make sure you are getting that puppy off on the right foot. So what is socialization? It's a stress vaccine. And stress is what causes pretty much all the behavior problems that I see as a veterinary behaviorist. Okay, so we want to get that done absolutely every puppy, every single time. And the benefits of socialization are real. They've been proven by science again and again and again. Puppies who are socialized learn more quickly. They're better problem solvers. They're less emotional. They have faster brain development and they have less fear. What puppy pet parent can look at this and say, oh no, I don't want any of this. I definitely don't want my dog to be smarter, a better problem solver, calmer, or less fearful. Come on, we all want this. So what if you're thinking, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll wait. Don't wait. That's a problem. Because puppies who are not socialized up to 16 weeks are more likely to be fearfully aggressive when compared with those that are. Those where people waited till 16 weeks are more likely to be fearful in general. They have difficulty playing. Y'all know these dogs who have no idea how to play or have no idea how to play kind of in a normal or species typical pattern. And those poor babies who were not socialized up to 20 weeks, right, have a really hard time forming bonds. I think you've probably seen dogs like this, love one pet parent and are deathly afraid of another, or bond with the people in their world up to the age of, let's say, 4 or 5 months, and then they're afraid of everybody else. These dogs can be really difficult to train and they can be more reactive. Okay, socialization is important and you have to do it with your baby if you get your baby during that socialization period. But here's the thing, it doesn't take a lot of time. 2 hours a day, and you might be thinking, 2 hours a day, I work, I get my kids to school, but wait, socialization isn't just taking your dog outside, right? To a different place or a different environment. Yeah, okay, that's a part of it. But socialization is also holding their foot for a second, handing a treat, touching their ear, handing a treat, walking out onto your front porch and sitting outside and letting them see people go by for 60 seconds, handing a treat. So 2 hours a day is a lofty goal. Even if you hit an hour a day between your house and outside environments, you can get this done. But it's not just about practice. It's about perfect practice. Okay, listen, this slide has a lot of words on it, but here's the bottom line. In this study, the researchers looked at dogs who were exposed to other dogs in public places. All right. They selected out these puppies who were already showing aggression toward dogs, and they took them to public places, and they looked to see, hey, if we expose them to other dogs, if we take them out in public and we just really get them out there, will they be less likely to be aggressive when they're adult dogs? And the answer is no. And here's why. A couple of reasons why probably in this study. Number one, probably because the puppies were already affected. If your puppy's already affected with fear, you need professional help. Dog training professional, veterinarian, veterinary behaviorist. I don't know what your puppy needs, but if your puppy's already fearful, socialization alone is probably not going to drastically change that. And we have one study that shows that that's probably true. If you have a fearful puppy, socialization alone is probably not enough to blast that fear. And at 6 or 8 or 7 months, they're still going to be fearful. Okay. Socialization will help, but it isn't enough alone. And that's basically what this study shows us. Exposing the puppy is not enough. You have to expose the puppy correctly, for which you will probably need professional help. How do you socialize your puppy safely in a world where there's infectious diseases that, if your puppy gets them, right, could land your puppy in the hospital or worse? Your puppy could be really, really seriously ill and die. How do you protect your puppy? Well, you just use common sense and socialize safely. Do not go to dog parks. Do not go to dog beaches. Do not let your dog walk up to your very friendly neighbor who has his 2 dogs and you don't know their health status. Just avoid interactions with dogs that are unknown to you and interactions at places where there might be unknown dogs, because your puppy can pick up infectious diseases, not just from nose-to-nose contact, but also being in the same space but close, and from urine and feces. Okay, so you want to make sure you're going to safe places. What are those safe places? You can let your puppy play with other puppies or adult dogs who are good players and are healthy. You can go to your friends' houses or maybe ask them to come to your house. You can also go lots of different places with your puppy where there are no dogs. And you can stay in your car or stay back away from areas that have a lot of dogs. And you can reward your puppy for just being calm and seeing the dogs. We're trying to teach the puppy that all of these things in the environment are fun, are pleasant, and definitely are not scary. What do you need to socialize your dog? Well, you need resources. These are my 2 favorite puppy books. You must get these: Puppy Socialization and Puppy Start Right. If you want to know how to do right by your puppy, get online and get these books. These 3 books are also excellent books for any pet parent, but especially puppy owners: Decoding Your Dog, The Ultimate Guide to Raising a Puppy, and From Fearful to Fear-Free. That's my book. These 3 websites are excellent resources for you. My website at the top has lots of puppy articles and articles on everything else as well. The Ultimate Puppy will help you with socialization steps. And of course, Fear-Free Happy Homes has information about everything to do with dog or cat behavior. Make sure that if you're adopting your puppy during the socialization period, that you are working on safe socialization. If you got your puppy after the socialization period, don't worry. Seek help from a certified professional dog trainer that uses only positive reinforcement methods to get your puppy off on the right paw.